Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Eclipse Surface Technologies, high-quality, utterly efficient, and economical dustless blast equipment. Tire Cradle, the original solution to tire flat spotting. And by Top Coat, advanced coating solutions through innovation and technology.
You are riding along with Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, and we are in this really cool 1970 Chevy C10. I'm with Dave Welch from Brothers Trucks. The last segment, we started to give this interior a little bit of an overhaul. We started by tearing out the seats, taking everything out of the car, including the carpet, the sound deadening material that was in it, and of course the residue cleanup at the end to make sure that our sound deadener would stick into it. And then you rolled out the sound deadener for us during the break here. I got to tell you, when you came in with this stuff, I thought you were kidding. I thought we were going to see an entire mat that was going to cover the floor for sound deadening, but just these little tiny pieces?
Covering every square inch is a bit of an overkill, and you have consequences to that. First of all, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars for that stuff. When you cut it out and lay it down, it takes 5, 6, 7 hours to do all that. If you have to roll it all out. If you don't cover up and get into every single nook and cranny, and you have an air pocket there, then moisture is going to harbor there, and then it's going to cause rust on your floor. So we don't need to go to all that trouble. If you have just a square inch, it'll sound deaden a square foot.
Now, all the kits from Brothers Trucks come with instructions, very easy to follow. And we looked at the diagram to see where all the sound deadening fit in this truck, and we wanted to dry fit it to make sure it all is there and to make sure it goes in the right place.
Yeah, you start gluing too soon and then you're gonna make a mess. So trial fit first, then glue down.
Take your time with these.
Yep.
So they can be hard to peel.
Yeah.
And once you get them down, they're down.
Yeah.
They're really super sticky.
You're not gonna get a second chance.
So you want to be gentle the first time. Use your hands, just use your fingers to mat it down, and then what do you do from there?
Then you want to roll it out. And if you don't have a roller, no big deal. Just get yourself a spray can, a really big socket, and roll it out, but make sure it's really good and flat.
Perfect. You don't need any special tools?
No.
And then we did have one wire to contend with before we get to the next step. It was in the back of the cab, and
that is your gas sending unit wire. So I just like to tape those down, because when you're doing all of this and you're looking for holes and things like that, and you have the razors and stuff, you could easily do damage to the wire. So tape them where they're not going to be anywhere near anything that's getting bolted down or any holes you're going to be cutting out.
So on to the next step, the heat shielding insulation.
Right.
Once again, there's a diagram from Brothers Trucks. We check that out. There are hole guides on it as well, so we can get a general idea of where the holes are we're going to need. And we looked at the diagram, got everything dry fit and laid out to see how that looks.
Yeah, again, you only get one shot at this. If you glue it down and then you try to pull it up, it's just a bloody mess. So really have it set up, pull part of it down, only pull part of it up, put glue on the metal and put glue on the Judy, and then use your hand to roll it down.
And take your time with it.
Right, yeah.
You don't have to be surgically precise with this step.
Not really, a little bit here or there. You have the tape that you're gonna go on top. You know, you wanna get it as close as possible, but you don't have to break your back on it.
Here's a tip I like, marking all the holes with screwdrivers. Start with a little one that's going to poke through the surface.
Right.
And then mark it, then replace it with a big one as you go.
Right, because trying to find them after the fact is tougher. If you don't have 16 screwdrivers, all you got to do is just get a sharp, pokey thing, climb underneath the truck, and then just poke up and you can cut around the holes, but I don't want to climb underneath the truck.
We glue down the first section and make sure you cover both surfaces.
Right.
Now we start up in the footwell, work our way back. The only tricky part here is marking those holes, Dave.
Just like to make sure that they're marked. It is on the padding, but sometimes it'll be a little bit off, depending on how you put it down. When I cut the holes out, I like to make it a generous hole to cut out also, because the thickness of the Judy on the back of the carpet also, you get 2 layers, then it's going to be pretty thick, and sometimes it makes it difficult to bolt down the seat or something. So cut them out generous and it'll make it easier on yourself.
And the kit from Brothers Trucks comes with some great silver tape to trim it all up.
Right, and it comes with the glue, I'd like to add too. That glue is pretty expensive. Go ahead and tape up all your seams and your edges and everything like that. It's going to make everything look good, and it'll keep noise from coming up through the cracks.
And now onto the carpet.
Yes.
Now the temptation is to just grab it, throw it in the truck, and away you go, but you got to take your time with it.
Yeah, really what you want to do is you want to set it out in the sun and kind of just let it get nice and warm and malleable. Now, one of the things you want to keep in mind about the carpet is that it's actually a molded carpet. It is actually shaped to fit on the floor with the same exact bumps and humps and everything like that. So then after it's warmed up in the sun, we put it in the cab, and if I can, I leave it in there for days and days and days. It just molds in better and better and better.
Once you start actually laying the carpet down and getting it to fit, it's a job you can do by yourself.
Yeah, it's not nicer to have a buddy help you.
You don't have to run back and forth from one side to the other.
Right. We're going to start at the front, just like we did on our heat shield. We're going to go ahead and we're going to glue it on down. We're going to make sure our buddy's holding the carpet nice and firm, because right in this situation, sometimes it'll jiggle around on you, and when you glue this down, you're in it, baby. You bought it. So we glue our front nice and secure. We roll the back of the carpet forward. We lay down our glue. Again, we're putting on the jute of the bottom of the carpet and on our silver top of the heat shield so that everybody's sticking really well. We're going to go ahead and roll it back with our hands, pushing down at the same time. And then when we get to the holes, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we've got those centered and marked, and we'll just keep rolling right on back until we get to the back end.
Stay right there. We're going to keep on trucking when Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat continues.